This video provides a step-by-step installation guide for the 76mm King Size Throttle Body brought to you by Velossa Tech. The purpose of this guide is to ensure correct installation, proper sealing, and reliable operation of the throttle system. Throughout the process, we will cover removal of the factory throttle body, preparation of mating surfaces, installation of the adapters, and installation of the new throttle body assembly. Before beginning, verify that all components in the kit are present, including gaskets, hardware, and adapters. It is also recommended to have standard hand tools available and to disconnect the negative battery terminal prior to starting the installation. Proceeding next is the removal of the factory throttle body. For this installation, we are using a donor vehicle equipped with an aftermarket Wagner Intercooler. This setup requires the use of the supplied intermediate boost pipe. For OEM vehicles or vehicles equipped with a different brand intercooler, the intermediate boost pipe is not required. In those cases, follow the installation using only the supplied silicone coupler and skip the boost pipe installation steps. Begin by removing the silicone hose that connects the OEM throttle body to the intercooler piping. Loosen the two clamps using an 8mm socket and remove the hose. For vehicles using the OEM silicone coupler, removal may differ slightly as the hose may be tighter. Be patient during removal. If necessary, use a thin tool to carefully loosen the coupler. In some cases, you may need to remove both the hose and the throttle body together if the hose is excessively tight. Next, disconnect the electrical connector by pressing down on the release tab and pulling it straight back. Protect the connector by placing a bag over it and securing it out of the way. Place shop rags underneath the throttle body area to catch any coolant that may spill when disconnecting the coolant lines. Using pliers, compress the coolant hose clamps and slide them back off the OEM throttle body. Firmly pull on the hoses to remove them. Once removed, install the supplied plugs into the coolant lines to help prevent leakage. Using a 10mm socket within an extension, remove the 4 bolts securing the OEM throttle body and remove the throttle body from the vehicle. Remove the remaining coolant hoses by compressing the clamps at the base of the hoses, sliding them back, and pulling the hoses free. Install the supplied silicone caps and secure them using the provided worm gear clamps. Install the first adapter plate, the thicker of the two, onto the intake manifold using the supplied M6 hardware and a 5mm Allen key. Ensure the logo is facing upward and the NPT ports are oriented towards the passenger side of the vehicle. Also ensure the O-ring is fully seated in its groove before installation. Next, install the second spacer, the thinner of the two, using the supplied M5 button head hardware and a 3mm Allen key. Verify proper orientation before installation. Do not fully tighten the hardware until the spacer is fully seated. Then, tighten evenly until the O-ring begins to compress against the thicker spacer. Install the new 76mm King Size Throttle Body onto the spacer assembly using the supplied M6 hex head screws and an 8mm socket. Do not fully tighten the hardware until the throttle body is fully seated and aligned. Once aligned, tighten all fasteners evenly. Reconnect the electrical connector to the throttle body, ensuring it clicks securely into place. Proceed with installation of the couplers and piping. This includes the reducer coupler for the throttle body, the custom intermediate boost pipe for the intercooler connection, and the straight 3-inch coupler. If you have an OEM vehicle or a different intercooler setup, the intermediate boost pipe will not be required. In that case, install the supplied coupler directly from the throttle body to the intercooler piping. Before installing any silicone couplers, apply a light coat of dish soap to the inside surfaces of the couplers and the mating piping surfaces. These components are designed with a very tight fit, and lubrication will significantly ease installation and help prevent damage to the couplers during assembly. Begin by installing the reducer coupler onto the throttle body. Twist while pushing until the coupler is fully seated against the throttle body tabs. Apply a very thin film of some dish soap to the ends of the boost pipe or inside of the couplers to help with lubrication and alignment. Next, insert the custom boost pipe into the reducer coupler until fully seated. This may require moderate force and slight adjustment. Again, skip this step if your vehicle is not equipped with a Wagner intercooler. Ensure the custom boost pipe is installed in the correct orientation. The small tab on the boost pipe, shown in green, should be positioned closest to the throttle body and facing upward. This will confirm the pipe is oriented correctly during installation. When inserting the boost pipe into the silicone couplers, push the pipe in deep enough so the edge of the couplers align with the embossed ridge on the boost pipe. This embossing serves as a visual indicator for proper insertion depth and ensures there is adequate clamping surface engagement for a secure seal. Do not tighten the clamps until the boost pipe is fully seated to this reference point. Install the straight coupler to connect the intercooler piping to the custom pipe. For easier installation, loosen the T-bolt clamps so they can move freely. Slide the coupler onto the intercooler pipe first, pushing it down far enough to allow clearance for the opposite end. Then, align and insert the other end onto the custom pipe. Use a slight angle and twisting motion as needed to fully seat the coupler. Once properly positioned, ensure there is adequate overlap on both ends of the pipe before securing the clamps. Position the T-bolt clamps and begin tightening. For improved access, the engine cover can be removed by pulling it straight upward. Before final tightening, verify that all couplers are fully seated, properly aligned, and evenly positioned. Ensure the clamps are not positioned at an angle and that the tightening will not cause the couplers to shift or slide off. Also ensure the clamps are positioned behind the bead rolls on the piping. Confirm there is sufficient clearance for the clamp hardware and that it will not contact surrounding engine components during operation. Ensure all couplers and piping are properly aligned. No components should be installed at an angle or under stress. When positioning the T-bolt clamps, note that the clamp bolts are intentionally installed in alternating directions. We recommend maintaining this alternating orientation during installation as shown to provide improved clearance between surrounding components and allow easier access for tightening. This is the preferred clamp orientation for proper fitment and serviceability. If you have an OEM vehicle or a different intercooler setup, the intermediate boost pipe will not be required. In that case, install the supplied coupler directly from the throttle body to the intercooler piping. Reinstall the engine cover by aligning it and pressing downward until fully seated. Verify there is no interference between the engine cover and the throttle body assembly. Installation is now complete. Before operating the vehicle, verify all connections are secure, check for any coolant leaks, and confirm proper throttle response. Reconnect the battery if it was disconnected. If any issues are observed, recheck all installation steps and hardware. For additional support, refer to the manufacturer's instruction or contact customer support.